morning. So my previous shortish video on autism in women and girls seems to have been quite popular. So I'm conscious there's a lot I didn't put in there, a lot more information. So I wanted to make a couple more short videos around this. One of the things I didn't put in, and I'm just looking at my notes beneath, was about friendships and relationships. So some of the questions to ask yourself, if you're wondering whether you are on the autism spectrum as a woman or a girl, is whether you struggle with relationships. Some of these things will overlap with introversion. So if you do experience some of these, or if some of these resonate for you, it's not guaranteed that you are on the autism spectrum. But if there's quite a number that resonate, then it's certainly something worth considering. So it's things to do with, do you prefer one-to-one versus groups? Do you find it difficult to gauge the dynamics in a group, to understand why maybe some people get angry with you, or if they take you the wrong way a lot, or they don't get your jokes? Or do you find that if any of you have watched The Good Life, like Margot, you just don't get the jokes, they go straight over your head? Do you struggle to maintain friendships, especially when you're not seeing someone regularly? Like, you know, do friends get angry with you because you don't keep in touch over the phone, you don't respond to text messages? Some of these could be to do with an ADHD profile. So, for example, if you're not responding because you just keep forgetting, that's different to feeling a bit of paralysis around texting or messaging or telephones, that they just really freak you out. Do you feel overwhelmed by your friends? Despite wanting to have friends, you find the maintenance of a friendship to be very demanding or stressful? Do other people's emotions tend to overwhelm you, so that even if you are with friends and enjoying being with friends, if they're the sort of person where their emotions spill out, does that become too much for you, which means you need to limit the contact you have with friends? Some people describe this as being a highly sensitive person or being an empath. And from my experience of working with neurodivergent clients, often someone who is an empath or is a HSP, highly sensitive person, there is a huge overlap with autism. And I would not be surprised if many of these people ascribing these labels to themselves are also on the autism spectrum. The other things around friendships are, when you're in a social setting, do you consciously copy people's body language or facial expressions? Do you create scripts in your head for certain situations? Do you go over and over again conversations that you've had and figure out ways to improve them for the next time? Do you worry a lot about how you've said something and whether you should have said something differently? Are there any famous people that you kind of model your persona on or your character? Do you find that you're a chameleon? Do you tend to change your clothing style or your hair or how you talk, depending on who you're with, to kind of fit in more, whether this is conscious or subconscious? So for many women and girls, it's a conscious, deliberate action to try and fit in. But for others who are high maskers, it will be a subconscious process where they're kind of constantly fitting in. So, for example, watching a lot of dramas or soap operas, or reading books like the Jane Austen type books, where there's a lot of storytelling around social dynamics and social etiquette. Do you seek out this kind of media, whether on the TV or in books, in order to learn more about social interaction? So this was just a little video about the friendships and social interactions. And with relationships, there could also be a lot around intimacy and physical contact, whether that feels really demanding to you, whether it feels too much, whether it's overwhelming. So that was just another video on autism in women and girls, and I'll be posting more later.